So this podcast is going to be a little bit different, a little bit more unconventional.
I like it.
We're probably going to do what everybody always asks us to do when we read some of the comments. Like I said, a lot of you are very, very wonderful and very, like I said, offering us up some good suggestions. But one of the ones we get sometimes is that we converse a little too much, just get right to the drinking, to the tasting. That's actually literally what we're going to do right now. Like I said, my brother does not know what we're about to taste. I have told him that it is a whiskey. It is a new one that I've read about. I've seen it advertised a bunch of different places. I thought, all right, let's bring it in. Let's have it go through the About Beverages paces. So we're literally just going to go right to tasting it. You are seeing down here on the screen what it is right now.
I'm not, unfortunately.
You're not.
Damn it.
They are. So yeah. So we're just going to get right to it. So color wise, what are you thinking?
I'd say it's light. It's on the lighter side for
maybe
for
Irish
whiskey.
Irish whiskey looking.
Well, I don't know. Oh, wait, did you just?
No, I'm just asking. That's what when I poured it. That's what I thought.
Yeah, or even like a Scapa. Like Scapa was a little on the lighter side. Right?
That's true. Yeah, some of the scotches, as we've seen, it's a dark Duncan Taylor from what we've seen lately.
Some of the later. Yeah. So just definitely lighter than I'm used to seeing from whiskeys we've had lately. More.
It's like a honey, a light honey kind of color.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Irish whiskey, possibly a Scotch whiskey. Actually, you know what? I have an.
Do you know what this is?
I
okay.
Do.
All right.
I do know what this is.
Okay. I'm just making.
Or there is a Scotch that I actually have right now out in the other that is on the lighter side like this. It's darker than, remember that Japanese whiskey we were like, was it the Kokori?
Oh, that's true.
It's darker than that. But yeah, definitely on the lighter side even of some of the bourbon whiskeys that we have.
Yep.
Aroma?
You tell me. At first I thought corn, and then I was like, no. And then I was like, rice, and I was like, no. Like corn bran or something with a little cinnamon or something. I don't know, but not overly cinnamony, like
It's not like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or something like that.
Something like that, but not quite that. But but
okay.
But then it almost there's something almost rice-like about it too.
Okay.
So something. But I'm smelling something that I can't determine.
Okay, so I can at least describe what I'm smelling. Like, even though I know what it is, like I can tell you what I'm smelling.
Okay.
So when I first opened the bottle, I thought it smelled almost like fake cherry, like almost Robitussin.
Oh, okay.
I thought it kind of had that aroma, like it was like, and so much so that I kind of like, so I've been seeing a lot of things lately, which is stuff that I've thought about, where they talk about how when you first open a bottle, we've always talked about letting it stay open for a little bit.
Right.
They say when you first open it, that little bit that's in the neck is almost sometimes a completely different flavor than the rest of the bottle. So they always say after that first pour, you can try it, you can taste it, but then they almost say let it sit open like a couple weeks so that it almost kind of gets a little bit of that oxygen in there, and then that's actually going to be the real flavor of the whiskey. So I poured that little bit, I smelled it, and I was kind of I literally pitched both of our glasses and then poured us a little bit more.
Oh, just right now? Oh, wow.
I did, just because I thought it smelled so much. I still get that. There is definitely, to me, there is still like a fruit, almost cherry sweet in there.
I could see to me, I'm almost
like
thinking
maraschino
sake.
cherry kind of thing, but then there's like cinnamon in there too. I agree with that. So that I think that is coming in there, and some of the cereal that you talked about, but I'm also getting a fruit, kind of a different fruit that's in there.
And I get that. And that's kind of like what I get like with sake. The few sakes that I've smelled in the past have that sort of wet, ricey sort of, but I could see how it could be cherry or, amaretto, that sort of thing.
Amaretto's a good call too. It's in there. It's nowhere near as strong. And then there is just a fair amount of some sweet notes coming in through, like more of like a cane sugar than like a brown sugar.
Okay.
All right. You ready for the taste?
Sure.
I am.
I don't know.
I'm interested in this too now.
Ew.
Yeah. Ew.
Is this no alcohol spirit? Okay. I've been very intrigued by stuff about this. I even sent you, I think, did I send you a link to it, or I posted something one time? Oh, yeah. Okay.
So what we have today here that Keith has just guessed is this Spiritless Kentucky 74. So this has no alcohol in it. It is made to usually supposed to be for sipping, for cocktails. It is supposed to be like It's the next wave where they talk about.
But this is made by somebody that does.
No, it is. Like I said, yeah, no, it's not that. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, it's supposed to be made for like if people don't want the full amount of alcohol and they're making a cocktail, they could cut this 50-50 with the spirit, the bourbon that's in there, the whiskey. This one is supposed to particularly mimic a bourbon or whiskey. So you could do that. It's supposed to, it's for people that, like I said, like the flavor, can't have the alcohol, don't want the alcohol. The process, I was fairly intrigued by this. It's around $35 for the bottle. I was intrigued by the process because this is actually full on that they make a whiskey and then they extract the alcohol. Okay. So a whiskey was made at some point and then they extract the alcohol. They do a pressurization process to kind of speed up the aging.
Okay.
Probably not unlike, not the same because they're different like proprietary things or whatever. Like I said, the Cleveland whiskey kind of does that too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That one to a greater effect. But also recently, so after I had purchased this a couple weeks ago, I saw that Whistle Pig also does because they did it for Dry January. They put out a thing. They said to help out the bartenders and everyone else, that we have made so they literally they literally made a 6-year aged whiskey. Whistle Pig did, and then they removed it then as well. Yes, Whistle Pig did an alcohol-free rye. Yes, that's what I was just mentioning that. Chat is talking about that right now. If you're watching us live here on Twitch and not seeing us on the archive on YouTube, you can always join us for that as well. And
which you should do.
Joining the conversation on Thursday nights.
That's right.
But yeah, I had multiple ideas about how I thought like maybe I'll bring another one to the table, something else, and we drink them back and forth to see if we can tell that there's no alcohol in it, yada, yada. I think this tastes gross. I think this is another one of those products where it's like, I wouldn't drink the thing. Again, maybe it tastes better if you mix it into a drink, but I don't see this being strong enough if I put it in a drink. Like when I sipped this, like it was just so watery already and so much everything else, I think it would get lost. So it's like you're literally saying that you put something in there that's whiskey-like if you're making a whiskey sour or something else, but it's not going to be enough to come through. Now, maybe Whistle Pig does a better one. Again, this one, what intrigued me by that it actually, because I thought, are they just mixing some different flavors together to try and make it taste like whiskey?
Right.
Like how we used to have extracts that we would put on coffee or something like that. But this literally is a whiskey that then they blend from the barrel. Like I was like, okay, this is probably gonna be good. And yeah, literally when I first did that pour, I almost wasn't even gonna do this podcast. I thought it smelled so bad.
No, it's so much buildup.
Robitussin is not like far off. It was literally like cherry cough medicine. I still think there is some like cough medicine-ish type aromas in there that are almost like there's maybe some ginger in there too. Like I'm getting a little notes of that.
There is a spiciness after a few more sips that kind of starts to weigh on your tongue. And ginger's a good call. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that they put ginger in there, but I was trying to figure out because there's a heat, but it's not alcohol heat, but there is a heat that's just kind of staying on my tongue, which I guess is probably mimicking the alcohol part.
Yeah, it tastes like I put 3 or 4 ice cubes in here, like and let it water down. To me, like it's like there may have been something, but then again, if this had been the full strength and not watered down, it probably would have not even been even less something I would drink, and it would be even less tolerable. But yeah, I don't know if other people are doing it better. Unfortunately, like I said, this is one of those ones.
I'm glad you bought. I've been very intrigued to try this because I think it was actually Imbibe recently within the last couple of issues did a thing where they featured like 4 or 5, and I think
was it a do's and don'ts, and they said don't.
No, there was all the here 5 to try or whatever.
At your own risk.
I wonder if that was one of them actually because that label looks familiar.
This one gets a lot of, like I said, this one gets a lot of publicity. They've gotten either a lot of marketing behind them, a lot of like I've seen them a bunch of other places, and then it was another thing. I can't remember if I may have bought this again also when I bought the Frey Ranch Distillery, but I bought from them and bought a few different things around because they had like either cheap shipping or free shipping. I was like, I want to try that. Man, that'd be neat if that actually is close to it, or if you even like if I thought it was strong enough where it's like, I could mix that with actual bourbon if you were going to make a lighter cocktail, like, I don't want the full again, I know these are random scenarios. Most people in chat here are probably like, what are you talking about making a lighter? I get it. I get it. Like, but I'm trying to like think outside the box and like, okay, what would be some other thing? And unfortunately, this is not it. Like I have never, like, this is literally Trader Joe's alcohol eggnog territory. This is gross. Like again, I can't even putting this in another drink. Like I can't even imagine it standing up to something, but I'm repeating myself. So.
If you just added it'd be funny. It'd be the reverse of like a whiskey and Coke. where it's like a shot of whiskey and then Coke. It'd be like
3/4
4 ounces
this
of that
and a little bit of Coke.
little bit of
yeah,
Coke.
just to kind of get it through there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just would be. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I wanted to like it. I was excited. Like I thought this was going to be fun. And it's amazing too that I even thought that I was like, oh, maybe we'll actually put a spirit next to it that had, like I said, those, something to compare it to. Because I thought, I'll look for one of my lighter whiskeys that is only 80 proof or something like that. And can we actually tell like, these are close, but I can't. I'm not getting the burn. But yeah, no, it's like I said, if you were tasting more, you'd be getting even more. Like I said, the cherry to me, and again, maybe that's just a visceral reaction. Like I'm not a huge cherry fan.
Right.
It's got to be done just right. This was very medicinal and everything. And then again, on the taste, just super watered down. So I think it would get lost in a cocktail, which is probably the reason you'd have this beverage. So
yeah, that's I like. I've been very intrigued about this field and have wanted to try, and I would still maybe try something else.
I would always want
another one.
I would always do the Eric. What does Eric say?
Try it twice.
Try it twice. Like not this bottle.
Not this one. No.
But I would try another one, and then after you'd had another one, I'd be like, okay, that's like the Whistle Pig one. Is one I would have liked to have bought, but I had already bought this one, and I was like, and I didn't see that till recently. But I would have tried that because it's like. That to me then is like, okay, at least that's an A-list distiller that I love and appreciate.
Right.
Love their spirits. Okay, if they're saying they did this, then that's another one of those things like this should be the top tier one. So if that is still available, like people like hit me up with the link, I would buy another one of those. Like I should have looked into that a little bit more, but since I hadn't tried this one yet and it had kind of gotten pushed around in our podcasting schedule, I didn't want to all of a sudden have two of these. If this one was good.
Right.
So.
Right.
Sometimes, sometimes we have a swing and a miss, and it's totally fine. But if you want to see all the other good things,
but it was fun. That was fun, though.
I did. I had a lot of fun.
That was fun. I'm glad I at least picked out. It was
Spiritless Kentucky 74's expense. Yeah, you did pick it out there at the end, though. Yeah, you definitely did. But yeah, head on over to the website at AboutBeverages.com. Check out all the things that we have done for over the last decade, along with other things that like I said, that are not just spirits but waters, sodas, recipes, all kinds of things. Like I said, it is all there that we have ever done. If you only want the latest videos, like the archive of this complete podcast or the smaller podcasts, go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You'll be granted some little alerts and some warnings when new stuff goes up, or you can turn those off and still be subscribed, which we would greatly appreciate. If you only want audio format, Google Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, all of those things are great options, or just whatever your favorite podcast app is. Search for About Beverages. You will find us there. Along with, there's some pillars that also they should probably.
Of course, the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars.
Three?
Yes.
There's 3? Oh my God.
3 pillars of social media being Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, which is what we use most frequently. Like earlier today when I tweeted that we were about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings at around 5:30 Pacific time. Give or take. And it's not always Thursdays, but we'll keep you up to date and we'll let you know. You can join us, like I said, on Thursday at Twitch, and we get together. We record these podcasts. We chat, hang out with everybody who happens to drop by. Try beverages, talk about a whole bunch of different things. Also, Andrew keeps you up to date on Twitter with what he's doing throughout the week in the gaming industry, the gaming world, what he's going to be doing and what he'll be drinking as he's doing it. So follow us on Twitter.
But as we always say, don't try this one. Stay away.
We don't always say that.
We don't always say. We usually say that.
Yeah.
You know what?
The search goes on.
Just not maybe my flavor profile, whether we like it or not. Maybe it's worth you get. Don't buy a whole bottle. Like, I don't know if you can find like a small like shot of it somewhere.
Have someone buy you a shot.
Have some. Whether we like it or not, this time have someone
give you a shot.